thank you again for the question. And the answer to that is yes. Of course, inhuman spirits will try to trick humans into believing that they are fellow human souls. It is a very common tactic, especially among the demonic. Now remember, the only reason I differentiate like human souls versus inhuman by saying inhuman haunting, intelligent haunting, it's not because inhuman hauntings are not intelligent. In fact, inhuman hauntings are more intelligent usually than the intelligent hauntings. Like when we're talking demonic and angelic, we're talking creatures that are far more intelligent than we are. Far more intelligent. They have preternatural abilities that we could only dream of. That we can, they know things about us that we do not know about us. They have knowledge that we will never have until we are on the other side. And even then, they might even have more intelligence than we do. The only reason I say inhuman versus intelligent is to differentiate between the two creations, because we are different. We are different. We are completely separate creations. Angels and demons will never be human, and humans will never be angels and demons. We will never pass on and become an inhuman creature, just like they will never pass on, they will never become something else. Like when the angels fell from grace and they became demons. Demons are not a different creation from angels. They are still technically angels. They're just fallen angels. And when we gave them the name demon, but they are still angels. They still have all of their powers, all of their knowledge, all of their strength and their abilities and they have all of that, all of it. It's just kind of like an evil version. They're still part of the hierarchy, just an evil, twisted version of it. The only thing they really lost was their grace and the beatific vision of God and their home in heaven. And eventually they will be sealed away in hell forever and lose all of, that, but they're still technically angels. They did not become a different creation. They're still angels in that sense. So we will always be human in the sense that the souls that we have inside of us, like inside of this shell, this mortal shell, the immortal soul inside of us will always be in that essence human. So we will never be a different creation. So that's kind of why I say inhuman versus intelligent, just to differentiate. But inhuman hauntings are extremely intelligent, far more intelligent than we are. And when it comes to the demonic, they use that intelligence to try to trick us at every turn. Often when it comes to like the demonic, when it comes to possessions, oppressions, they need an invite in order to wreak havoc in our lives. A lot of times that can be done through sin on our own accord. Where we willingly open ourselves to their attacks. But a lot of times they need some kind of a permission to get in. And they will find a way to trick us into doing that. And if it means pretending to be your great-great-granny who promises to give you all of the answers to your family history better than Ancestry DNA or 23andMe, and you're like, yeah, great-great-granny, come on, can you tell me, yeah, I give you permission to, sit with me and tell me all about my family history. That's all they need. That's all they need. It doesn't matter that you actually believe it's great-great-granny and that you didn't think you would ever be giving permission to a demon. They don't care. You just said yes, and that's all they need. It doesn't matter that they lied to you. They just needed that permission and you gave it. It doesn't matter if it was given on a lie. A great way to explain this is by telling the story of Annabelle. And here is me telling actually, I shouldn't say that. Here is my Raggedy Ann telling the story of Annabelle back in 2021 and explaining how 3 nursing students accidentally giving a demon permission to stay caused a lot of havoc with their lives. For those who don't know, yes, Annabelle is a Raggedy Ann doll, just like this one my aunt made me when I was born. And they were both mass-produced and sold in patterns that you could make at home. Now let my Raggedy Ann doll tell you the story of Annabelle.
Here's the story about my distant Annabelle, who's giving all of us Raggedy Anns a bad name. She was found at a resale shop by the mother of a woman named Donna, and so the mother bought it as a housewarming gift for Donna. Now, Donna was a nursing student who had just gotten her first apartment with her friends, and her mom thought it would be a great housewarming gift. Donna loved the little doll, but soon she started noticing odd things about it. It started slowly at first, like she'd leave it lying on her bed, and then when she would return home, it would be sitting up. Or she'd leave the doll sitting with her hands at her sides, and when she'd return, the doll would be sitting with her hands folded neatly in her lap. Little things like that. Things Donna could just pass off as, oh, I just must not have remembered leaving her like that. But then Annabelle made it impossible to just blame her memory. She would leave Annabelle in her room with her door shut, and when she and her roommates would return from class or from being out, the Raggedy Ann would be sitting on the couch, actually sitting proper like a person. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Then they started finding hand-scribbled notes with childlike writing on it on parchment that they didn't even have in their apartment. Most of the notes were aimed at Donna's friend Lou. Things reached a boiling point when they found blood-like substances all over the doll. Donna and her roommates decided to consult a psychic medium to have her read the doll to find out what was going on, and the psychic told them that the doll was possessed by the spirit of a girl named Annabelle Higgins. She had died on the property where the apartment now stood and was frightened and only wanted to stay with Donna because she liked her and the roommates. That's when Donna and the roommates made the biggest mistake of saying that it was okay for her to stay. They took my distant cousin back to the apartment, and that's when all hell broke loose. It was especially bad for poor Lou. He saw the Raggedy Ann at the bottom of his bed. It ran up his leg, straddled him, and began choking him until he blacked out. And that's where the famous Ed and Lorraine Warren came into the picture. Ed and Lorraine informed Donna and her roommates that there was never an Annabelle Higgins, that it was really a demon that was manipulating the doll in order to get an in with them, because a demon usually needs an invitation, and that yes, you can stay was exactly the invitation that the demon needed. Luckily for Donna and her roommates, they immediately took the doll. Ed blessed it with holy water and threw it into the back of the seat of their car to bring it back to their museum, where they kept dangerous objects such as Annabelle safe from the public, and there she still sits today.